All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're currently in rookie minicamp, and as that wraps up before OTAs, we're going to discuss some of the headliners. The Steelers rookie class in general looks very good. Troy Fautanu, you got Zach Frazier, Roman Wilson, Payton Wilson. It even gets a little bit deeper as we go into the later stages of the draft. But we're hearing some really good things about Fautanu. We're hearing some really good things about the Wilson guys, Roman Wilson and Payton Wilson. We'll start it off because round 3, pick 98, Payton Wilson, linebacker out of North Carolina State. At NC State, this dude was a freaking beast. Payton Wilson reportedly is already wowing Steelers. I saw this tweet here from Alan Saunders, and he said this: Payton Wilson might be the oldest acting rookie I can remember in a while. Already calling the defense on day 1. Super poised in interviews. Referred to not having an ACL as his bum knee. So we know the track record is unbelievable. The only thing that was holding him back in the draft, Payton Wilson, was his injury history, right? So Wilson was one of the best linebackers last year in college football. 92 total tackles in 2023, including 41 run stops, 3 interceptions, and when he was targeted, he'd only allowed a passer rating of 47.2. Like, this is a literal freaking superstar. And he landed with the Pittsburgh Steelers all the way back in round 3 with their 4th total pick in the draft. According to Alan Saunders, like we just said, of Steelers, now Wilson was calling the defense on day 1 and has a veteran presence about him when speaking to the media. So before we get any further into today's video, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Steelers fans, you continuously support and love this channel. I love you guys so much. Seriously, words cannot describe it. If you could try and get this video to 500 likes, that would seriously mean the absolute world to me. So Payton Wilson joins a loaded linebacker room. New addition, Patrick Queen, star linebacker from the Baltimore Ravens. You got Landon Roberts coming off a great season. And then you have Cole Holcomb. And now you got Payton Wilson. You also got Nick Herbig, Alex Highsmith. Like, the linebacker room on paper is literally loaded. But we were saying the same thing last season. So linebacker depth to the Pittsburgh Steelers is extremely important. So back to Payton Wilson. He was healthy. He was unbelievably productive in the past 2 seasons. Guys, he had 4 interceptions, including a pick 6, 221 total tackles. But once again, the reason he fell all the way to the 3rd round, later in the 3rd round, is because of his extensive injury history. He's a high-risk, high-reward type of player. 2 torn ACLs and a shoulder injury that kept him out in all but 2 games back in 2021. But like we said, the last couple of seasons, he's been healthy and he's been ready to go. So we look at guys like Landon Roberts, and Cole Holcomb had a horrible season-ending injury. There was worry that it was going to be a career-ending injury. This move, Payton Wilson, he's going to have some type of impact. He's going to have some type of role. The cream always rises to the top. And this linebacker room is going to be great for years to come, folks. You have Patrick Queen and Payton Wilson. That might be your star linebacker room for the next couple of seasons here. Moving on to the offense side of things, Troy Fautanu is getting a lot of praise because he's been playing right tackle. We saw this coming. Broderick Jones is going to be moving back to left tackle. That's, that's his cream of crop right there. Broderick Jones is best at left tackle, and because of Dan Moore, who's definitely not going to be starting next season, I imagine Troy Fautanu is going to be moving to right tackle from day 1. And I imagine Broderick Jones is going to be moving back to left tackle from day 1, like we're seeing in minicamp right now. And we're looking at this offensive line here. You got Fautanu, you got Broderick Jones on your tackle side. That's very important. You got a stud in Zach Frazier in round 2 from West Virginia at your center spot. Isaac Seumalo at left guard and James Daniel at right guard. They're getting back to what they know the best, winning in the freaking trenches, and it's going to correlate to the run game. It's going to correlate to the pass game. And so speaking of the pass game here, I saw an interesting thing. And, in our last Steelers video, we were talking about the offense, right? Because you got guys like DK Metcalf and Brandon Ayuk and Cortland Sutton, all these borderline wide receiver 1/wide receiver 2 trade rumors. And What's looking more realistic is that they're going to walk away with a guy like Darius Slayton from the Giants or a dude like Treylon Burks from the Tennessee Titans. And I read an interesting article, I think it was from Steelers Now. They brought up a good point, and it was kind of what we were talking about in our last video, especially when we're talking in regards to Arthur Smith's offense. So here's like an excerpt I grabbed from it. A top 3 group of Pickens, Slayton, and Wilson or Pickens. It's kind of confusing. Wilson, oh my goodness, we're going to start from the top here. A top 3 group of Pickens, Slayton, and Wilson, or Pickens, Wilson, and Burks wouldn't be a top 5 trio on paper, but look at the Lions model. 2 running backs, a good tight end, a good offensive line, a talented wide receiver who is utilized mostly in the slot. They're talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown, who would be, correlated to George Pickens there. And that's exactly what Pittsburgh has. And so I cover the NFL on this channel. I've made a ton of Detroit Lions videos in the last couple of years here. And my big thing, and keep in mind, Detroit's got a couple of intriguing guys like Jameson Williams. Last year they had Josh Reynolds, but they just lost Josh Reynolds. They did, really hit it out of the ballpark with Sam Laporta. But Pat Freiermuth's coming off such an underwhelming season. We keep talking about Pat Freiermuth on this channel. The dude was so underutilized in Matt Canada's system, like so underutilized. He's walking away with games with, 2 catches for 22 yards, 3 catches for 31 yards. Like, he was so underutilized. And you've got the 2 running backs and Najee Harris. We're gonna kibosh the trade rumors. Najee Harris isn't going anywhere this season, folks. I don't care that they declined his 5th year. You got 2 running backs, Jalen Warren, Najee Harris. You got a good tight end in Pat Freiermuth, a good offensive line with new additions of Troy Fautanu and Zach Frazier, even getting a little bit deeper with Mason McCormick, and a talented wide receiver who's utilized mostly in the slot, i.e. George Pickens. So I'm looking at this room, and once again, we talked about this in our last Steelers video. If Roman Wilson, which I fully believe he can, it was a loaded, deep wide receiver draft class. I would assume most other classes with less deep wide receiver rooms, he'd probably be drafted easily in the 2nd round here. So if Roman Wilson can just provide me with somewhere between 600 and 900 receiving yards, he can fill in for Deontay Johnson right here and right now. And then if somebody, i.e. Van Jefferson, Scotty Miller, Quez Watkins, or my man Calvin Austin III, if they can give me like 400, 500 receiving yards, your offense is set. Throwing by Russell Wilson to Roman Wilson. Love that future duo there. I really think Roman Wilson's going to have a great season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But guys, that's it for today. A little bit of camp news, rookie mini camp news. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, that sub button for more. And let me know down below, who's your most intriguing rookie that the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend. Peace.